Hello everyone, welcome to my very first Flosstube. My name is Antonia and I have been cross-stitching for about 3 years now. I started in the summer of 2022 and the very first project that I worked on and finished is this little Welcome Autumn pillow that I made as part of a YouTube stitch along with another YouTube creator, Nicole Sport. And this is the pattern that I use from Primrose Cottage stitches, and then this is a little pillow that I had finished. And I have to tell you, once I finished this project, I was hooked. And then for the past 3 years, I would say most of my crafting has really just been working on cross stitch. And on this chair here, I have some of my favorite finishes that I've completed. And then behind me, I have a box that has a number of cross stitch charts that I finished stitching but haven't figured out how to finish yet, and I may ask for some help from you in the comments for some ideas how to finish them. And then in this bag I have my favorite project of all time, and this project I started in December of 2022 and it's going to be massive when I finish. I hope to finish by the end of this year, and I will share this at the end of this Flosstube. So I would have to say that my favorite designers are just, and again, this is just based on what I've actually stitched, are Primrose Cottage stitches, hands-on design, and then also Heart in Hand. I just find that I feel a pull towards those different patterns, and those designers' designs really resonate with me. So a lot of the projects that I work on are from those designers, but I am open to all and always, out there looking to see what looks kind of fun to get into next. The project that I'm working on now is a design from Heart in Hand. It's the 2025 collector's heart called Love Who You Are, and I'd like to finish it exactly like this. I'd like to put it in a frame and then hang it in my office upstairs. And this is how far I've gotten so far. So I'm pretty much done. I just have, let's see if I can hold it up, like this area right in here. I just have like a couple more blocks to finish, and then I'll be finished, and then I can find a frame and then get it all finished, and then I'll have my first little wall hanging. I haven't hung any of my projects up yet. So getting back to my journey to getting to cross stitch. So I started this channel in 2017. It was largely focused on card making. So if you go back through the history of my channel, you'll see lots of card making videos between 2017 and 2020. Then during coronavirus, when we were quarantined and spent a lot of time inside our houses, I moved more towards watercoloring because I feel that's a craft or an art that takes a lot of time to master, and that was the first time kind of in my life where I had a lot of time. So I spent a lot of time watercoloring and doing demo videos for that. And then in 2021, my channel took another shift where I started working on and demoing mostly Christmas ornaments. So I had one video that went viral and got a lot of subscribers to my channel, and it was for this little guy, so this little Christmas gnome ornament. And after that, I just started making a lot more Christmas ornament videos, and then also I moved into other seasons and did different little crafts. So this angel is one of the projects that I demo in one of my videos on this channel. And then I also have a lot of simpler projects as well, like these little Valentine's Day ornaments. And I tend to use in my DIY craft videos the same types of materials over and over again. So I use a lot of twigs, I use a lot of buttons, a lot of beads, and then a lot of string and yarn, just so that for people who follow my channel, it's easy. If you want to be able to make one of the projects along with me, you don't have to keep buying new supplies. I try to just use the same 5 to 10 different types of material. But anyway, what I noticed was that for the past 3 years, I've primarily been cross-stitching, and I haven't been posting that much because I've just been stitching and didn't feel really that I had much to share. And then it just dawned on me while watching some other Flosstube videos that, well, I actually have a lot to share. I have a lot of projects that I've been working on that I'm excited about, that I want to share with others. And then I also have a bunch of projects where I'm just stuck, right? And I need some help to figure out how to finish them, to make them completed projects. So I guess the first thing I'd like to do is just go over some of my favorite projects that I've worked on over the past few years and just share those for a moment and explain a little bit how I finish them, and then I'll also share the name of the chart. So one of my projects that I'm probably most happy with, and it just fell apart as I picked it up, but it's okay, I'm going to put it back together and show you, is this little frame that I made. It's a little Halloween alphabet, and it's a Primrose Cottage chart. Let me find that so I can tell you what that is. So it's Halloween Alphabet by Primrose Cottage, and I think I followed all of the suggestions to the T. So I stitched it on 32 count, vintage country mocha, 2 threads over 2. And then I also bought the same exact frame that they use in the photo, and they have a model number of this frame. It's from Michaels if you ever want to make the project yourself. And then I also tried to make a little broom just like they have in the picture. And I just took some rafa and a little twig and some twine and just embellished it with like a little pumpkin charm and just hot glued it to the frame. And so this is like one of my favorite little pieces that I have. I have another Halloween piece that I gave away as a gift, and I will show a picture of it on the frame so that you can see. And this chart is called Flying Lesson by Silver Creek Samplers, and I put it into a frame that I just purchased from Michaels, and then I hot glued a little embellishment stand that I had bought at Michaels, and then I just made a little cross stitch button of a little ghost with a little hat on using a chart from Primrose Cottage. And as you can see, so the ghost in the button is this little let's see, this little ghost right here. So I just made the cutest little button using that, and this pattern is called Halloween Letters if you are interested in that one. For this project, I made it for a cousin of mine who is a pilot, and she lives with another pilot, and I just thought it would be, and they love Halloween and they love decorating their homes, and I just thought it would be the perfect little gift for the both of them. Anyway. And then another favorite cross stitch project that I have is this little costume party cross stitch by Hands On Design, and I stitched this on, I think that this is 32 count, and then I just put some orange and black twine around the edges to finish it. And then ultimately, I haven't done this yet, but I took this little unfinished wood stand that I got from Chantal 141, and I just took some Distress ink by Tim Holtz and just stained the front of the wood. And I will eventually, before Halloween, I will glue this finish to this little frame, and then I have some little Halloween embellishments that I got from Tim Holtz that I'll add to the bottom, and then I'll add a few ribbons and whatnot and just make it really, really decorative and cute. So that's my plans for how I want to finish this little costume party cross stitch. Another favorite project that I've been doing over and over again, and I find this is really nice to do in the evenings after a long day of work and you just have maybe 45 minutes or an hour, maybe even less than that, and you just want to relax a little. And it's just so nice to have small projects like this that you can finish in just a couple of nights, or if you have 3 hours, maybe you can finish it in one sitting. And it's just a little pillow, and again, this is a Primrose Cottage chart. This is one of their Valentine's charts from a couple years ago. And I just added some Lady Dot Creates little, what do you call these little, it's not rickrack, it's, I don't know, little red balls around the end. The name just escapes me. Feel free to put it, oh, pom-poms, that's what they are. I put little pom-poms around the edges. And then I just got some fabric from Michael's or from Joann's, and just use that for the back of the pillow. And then instead of just adding a little patch to the back to kind of hide the little hole that I made in it when I sewed the pillow together on the sewing machine, and I didn't leave a little gap. I just sewed all the way around and then made a hole in the back, kind of the way that Primrose Cottage tells everyone to do for their pillows, or it's a way that they demonstrate. So instead of just using a simple little patch, I made like a little postage stamp type design with some felt, and I just cut out a little felt heart and then just stitched in the words "love you" on there. And that's like been my new favorite way to finish little pillows, is to add like one of these little postage stamps. And I didn't stitch it on, I just hot glued it. I wasn't very precious with this. It's just a small pillow, and I was able to get that on pretty quickly, so I just used some hot glue. And I have some other little postage stamps that I've been working on that I'll use either as like little ornaments or maybe as a gift tag for different seasons. So this one I made for St. Patrick's Day, and all that I did to make the shamrock was I just cut out 3 little hearts and just joined them together so that they made the shape of a shamrock. And then I just stitched in the little stem there. And I used a scissor, what is that scissor called? The scissor that has a zigzag scissor, is that it? To make the little like postage stamp like edges. And then I have another version where I did a little snowman, and I just cut 2 little circles out of felt and just stitched on the little face with some embroidery thread. And then just to make it more stamp-like, I just added 25 cents over there. And if I have a winter little pillow, I will use this for the back of it. So I'll give you an example. So here is another Primrose Cottage design. It's another one of their little like monthly 9x9s. I think this one is for February, and my intent is to turn this into a little pillow just like the Valentine's Day one. And then on the back of the pillow I'll add this little snowman stamp, just to like cover up the little hole in the back of the pillow. I think that would be so cute. I guess while we're on the topic of Primrose Cottage little 9x9s, I'll show you one other little pillow that I have stitched but I haven't finished into a pillow yet, and this is the one for March, and it's a little St. Patrick's Day theme. So we have the little shamrocks and a little leprechaun hat, and then 4 little pots of gold, and I just think it's so cute. So I will finish this one as well, make another little pillow. And then one last pillow that I have that's in progress is this little, it's called Boo Bash by Primrose Cottage Stitches, and I am not sure if I want to make a pillow out of this chart, or maybe it would be cuter like just as a little frame, or maybe similar to how I want to finish the costume party, the costume party cross stitch that I showed you a minute ago, where I can have like a little stand and then put little Halloween embellishments on the bottom as well. So that remains to be seen. Another idea I have is maybe I could make this like the center of the pillow and then have around it like a different type of Halloween themed fabric around it, so it would be like a larger pillow. So I don't know, I'd love to hear in the comments like if you have any ideas for how you think this would look best finished. I'd love to hear. And then the most recent pillow that I finished by Primrose Cottage Stitches is this little strawberry quilt pillow, and this is I think that this chart was released maybe about 2 months ago, and they have a finishing kit for it that you can purchase, and it comes with these little pins. So there's like a little strawberry flower pin and then 2 little strawberries, and then it also came with the pom-poms and then this fabric for the back. And then I just made this little like postage stamp to cover up the hole where I kind of cut into the fabric in order to make room to stuff it for the pillow. So I just love this. I think it's so cute, and it's just, I'm so glad that I finished it now because it's a good time of the year to have it out because it's almost strawberry season. And I just think it's so sweet and adorable, and I love the little pins. I also have this little pillow that I am working on finishing now. This is another Primrose Cottage Stitches design, and for this one I didn't do the little cheat where you make a hole in the fabric. I actually just sewed most of the way around, and then I just left a little gap here, and this is how I stuffed the pillow. And then when I add the trim, I'll close up this little hole. And the trim that I'm thinking to use for this is this peony trim by Lady Dot Creates, and I just think that will be so cute. Let's just take a look at that. See, it's a little bit, might be a little bit too pink. It might have been better if I found a more peachy trim, but I still think that it's just going to be gorgeous, and I think that's how I'm going to go. So hopefully this weekend I will be able to finish this little pillow. Okay, and just to close out the pillows, since we've got them all out, I also have this little Pumpkin Spice Farm pillow that I finished, and this is a hands-on design chart, and I used again the Lady Dot Creates trim. It's like a chenille trim for around the edges, and I used, I think this is 32 count. Lately I've noticed the sweet spot for me has been 32 count, although it's more comfortable for me to stitch on 28 count. I find I can see that a little bit better, but I really love like how plump the stitches look when you do 2/2 on 32 count. So I often find myself like torn between, do I want to do what's comfortable, right, and what's going to make me want to stitch longer, or do I want to, you know, do with what is going to just aesthetically be the most pleasing to me. So I kind of go back and forth between the two. If I get tired of stitching on 32, then I'll move to a project where it's 28 and then be happy. And I'll just show you the back. So this is just some fabric that I had. It's like a flannel that I just had in my stash, and I just thought that it matched really nice. I just love the way that the orange of the pumpkin just pops against the blue. I really love the colors on this pillow. And then the last pillow that I have to share, and I don't have the pattern with me right now, so if you know in the comments where this is from, feel free to drop a comment. But I just love these little snowmen, and I use like a polka dotted fabric that I got from Fat Quarter Shop, and I just love that because then it just looks like more snow in the background. And I just love these little snowmen. I think they're so sweet. And I used again like the chenille trim from Lady Dot Creates, and then I found this fabric at Michael's that just, not Michael's, I'm sorry, at Joann's, that just matched perfectly, right? It just says love, and then on the front we have love, and it even looks like it's very close to the same type of lettering. So I just felt like that was just magical. Like these two, this pattern was just meant to, you know, be combined with this little fabric. So I love this little pillow. Okay, so another fully finished project that I have is this little Halloween chart. Let's see. I don't know why it's so hard to hold it straight. So it's, again, this is a hands-on design chart. This is Halloween Town. I think this came out 2 years ago, and it's a pretty simple finish. So it's just, I have some little pom-poms that I got from Lady Dot Creates. And for this, I didn't sew them on. I used a hot glue gun for it, which was, you know, it was a little bit, I was kind of anxious through the whole process because I had spent so much time stitching this. And again, this is on 32 count, and it's very easy to just get the hot glue on the fabric, but somehow I think I was able to do it without making too much of a mess. And then I just used some spider web fabric that I had gotten from Joann's, and then for the back I just used some felt that I had at home just to finish it off and make it look all nice and neat. Someday I think I may try to attach it to a bigger wood board just so that's a little more sturdy. Okay, so one last Halloween finish, well, almost finish. This is the Salem Sisters Stitchery. This is another Primrose Cottage Stitches design, and this chart came out, I think it was in 2024 for Halloween, and as soon as I saw it, I just fell in love. I just love the little pumpkin. I love the little writing, and I just think it's so adorable. I love the colors in it, and I will finish it fully. So that, let's see what it'll look like when all of the ends are tucked in. Yeah, and my plan is to like hang this up. Maybe I'll like hang it up on the wall right behind me when it's all done. I just think it's so cute. Okay, so I think those are all of the fully finished objects that I have, and otherwise I just have a whole box full of charts that I've finished, and I haven't decided how to finish yet. So let's kind of take a look, and maybe we'll just look at a few of them because this video I think is starting to get a little long, and we can go through them another time, maybe on Flosstube number 2. Okay, so here is my big box of finishes. Let's look at some of the Christmas ones. Okay, so this one I do not have the chart for handy. So if you know who this is by, please put it in the comments, or if anyone is interested, I can add in the description box later on, and after I look it up to see who this is by. But I love this finish so much. It was not fun to stitch. I found that I am not really a fan of stitching on linen. I much more prefer Lugana. I found it was difficult for me to be able to see because the holes in linen are not always uniform. So this was really a labor of love, but I just love the way that it turned out. It was just so, so cute. And my plan for this, I think I'm going to frame it and then maybe add some little ribbons and Christmas embellishments to it. Another idea I had is maybe, you know, turn it into like a little hot cocoa bar where it's you have a frame, but then in front of the frame there's a little area, a little shelf where you can put some little hot chocolate mugs and some little marshmallows and things like that. So if anyone has any ideas or suggestions on how best to finish this I would really love those suggestions. And then let's look at, let me find another Christmas one. Okay, so I have another hot cocoa bar themed finish, And this one I don't have the chart for either, but I can look it up and add it to the description box. And I just love this one. I think it's so cute. I love the bold colors. This is another one that I stitched on linen. Another labor of love for me. But I do love the way that it turned out. Okay, and then this one, this is another Primrose Cottage design, and I just stitched this one up this Christmas. I think this one is called Subway Art, and I think it just came out in 2024 for this Christmas season. And for this one, I would like some ideas on how best to finish this. Do you think that this would be good as a simple frame, or should I try to make it, I don't know, more embellished somehow? So any ideas that you have, I would really welcome for this chart. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention out, another cool thing that you could do with this chart is you can take like any of the little motifs and just make like a little pillow with them or a smaller object. So I've seen people just take Santa and the little hat on top of Santa and make a little pillow out of it. Or you could take like hot cocoa, like this little section here, and then have a little pillow or a tiny little ornament. You can make like little ornaments out of little pieces of this as well. So just a lot of ways to use this chart. It's really, really versatile. So that's another thing that I like about this one. Okay, so we have gone through a lot of projects. I think I only have this one work in progress right now. So one thing, I am pretty much a monogamous stitcher. So I do like to work on one thing at a time, or sometimes, like in the case of this one, like massive project that I've been working on for 2.5 years now, I might have that in the background, but then maybe I'll have 1 or 2 other smaller projects to work on as well, so that I don't get overwhelmed. And I also feel like I kind of, once I start something, I just want to, you know, get through and finish it. That is not to say that I don't have whips. I do have some whips, just probably not, maybe not as many as would be typical. And I can show some of my whips next time. Usually I find what happens with a whip is if it gets to the whip stage, it's because I've lost interest in it, and that makes me sad. So I try to, like, once I commit to a stitch, I like to just stick with it and just stitch it all the way through. The area where I kind of start to get tangled up, or it's more difficult for me to get to the next stage, is to have like a fully finished object. So I think I might have like 30 or 40 pieces that are finished, including some of the ones that I've shown you, but that I haven't turned into a fully finished object yet. So for me as a stitcher, that's where my struggle is. It's not so much with having too many projects that are being stitched on at once. It's stitching something and then having too many projects that are fully stitched and just they haven't blossomed yet. I haven't turned them into the butterfly yet. So I need to, I think, I get better at that. Okay, so now for the big moment. I am going to share my massive project that I have been working on for the last 2.5 years. And it is by Country Cottage Needleworks, and it's Big City Christmas. And there are 7 different little mini scenes, and you can stitch each of them. You could stitch each of them on their own, or you could do as I've done and just stitch them all together on as one big piece. So let's see if I can even get it all up here. So there are 7 different little mini scenes. So I have 4.5 done. So on the very, very end, let's see. No, it's like, okay, let's see. I'll just use myself. Okay. Okay, so on the very end, we have the department store, and then we have the theater, and then the toy store over here, and then we have a little cab and a Christmas tree, And I'm working on the hotel now. And then next to the hotel will be a restaurant and then one last building, and then I'll be done. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Let's see which buildings I have to finish. Okay, so I'd like to normalize using our bodies as a display stand for our projects. Okay, so yeah, I've done the theater, which is this one. And then I've done the street scene, which is a little cab. And then I have to do the hotel, and that's what I'm working on now. So that is, yeah, this little piece that is in progress. And then the last 2 buildings I need to complete after that are, okay. Okay, then the last 2 buildings are the restaurant and then the music hall. So I can even show you what they look like. So this is the restaurant. Oh, sorry, it's the restaurant. And then the music hall. And then I will have my little big city Christmas, and I can hang it up. I think that for this one, I'll definitely frame it. I might actually have this one professionally finished just so that it comes out perfect, since some of my finishes, they're generally good, but I just want to make sure they're perfect. So let's see. Oh, I just love how cute this is. I would love to know in the comments if anyone else is working on this chart, and if so, if you've done it like me and you've just stitched on one long piece of fabric. I think this is, it's a platinum Lugana 32 count, and there was something special about this one. I think it has like a little bit of metallic in it. I don't really feel, it doesn't feel any different stitching, but it gives like a little bit of a sparkle to the fabric. Yeah, and then this little guy up here, this is just my needle minder. I think I got this from Primrose Cottage Stitches. So I'm gonna be so happy when this little chart is all completed. Well, thanks so much for stopping by my very first video. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you consider subscribing, and I would love if you leave me a comment and let me know what you're working on right now. And again, if you have any tips for me on how to finish any of the different items that I've shown today, I'd really appreciate that. And with that, I would like to leave you with a little poem. Okay, and here is my little poem to you. It's called The Flosstube Family. Across the screen, a smiling face, a cozy chair, a stitching space, a mug of tea, a stack of charts. We gather here with open hearts. With every hello friends we hear, we feel the stitcher's spirit near. From whips and halls to FFOs, the Flosstube magic gently grows. We share our triumphs, share our woes, our frogged out stitches, tangled rows. We cheer each finish, big and small, for here there's room enough for all. From samplers old to modern flair, from fancy silk to cotton fair, from tiny hoops to giant frames, each stitcher's love burns just the same. In every comment, every like, we lift each other, shine a light, a thread that weaves through time and place, a stitched up bond, a warm embrace. So here's to you, Flosstube crew, to every laugh and chat and view. Though miles apart, we're side by side, in every stitch we're unified. And thank you. So again, thank you so much for joining me and for watching my very first ever Flosstube video. And I hope to make more and to share some more finishes and some more works in progress. And I'm just excited to be part of this community, and I just can't wait to hear from you in the comments and see what you're up to. All right, have a great day or a great night, depending on when you're tuning in, and I will see you again next time in my next Flosstube.